We're live.
I'm assuming you don't want to join me for Dr. Fizzwizzle, but...
I would rather drink piss.
You're gonna watch that stream though, right?
Oh, you're so optimistic. Oh, that's cute about you. You're so optimistic. Ooh.
You're gonna watch me play the weird random Wii game that nobody's ever heard of?
Nah, I'm probably going to be watching Breaking Bad. I'm going to be watching Breaking Bad with Bad Bastard. What the fuck is that on the background? What is on Sasha's screen? Is that Dr. Eggman dancing?
Yeah, it's Eggman.
From what? What thing is that?
I think it's from the Team Sonic Racing animations. Got like a trophy.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Sasha picked that out.
I didn't know if it was 2D animated or 3D because
yeah, it's
I
a
can only
2D
make
animation.
out. Yeah,
that's the funny part is you can barely even make it out.
Yeah.
The Mario one worked much better. It had better contrast. You could see it. What button is it trying to ask me to press to close? A. Why won't you close?
Go look at Sky Sanctuary up
Why
there.
is this not working? I used my controller to open the game. So why is it not, like, working?
And other sound
effects. Not working, it's not working.
Oh dear.
Well, it usually works. I have all the achievements in this game, by the way. You can all praise me now, I'm a cool gamer girl. I got all the achievements.
Well, if you're a cool gamer girl, how many Wii Fit balance boards are up your ass right now?
Gamers don't like the Wii Fit balance board, Fizz.
Yeah, that's why they shove it up their ass. Because there is no more jagged rock for a gamer than motion controls.
Okay, it's working now. I don't know why it wasn't taking my controller inputs before. It was weird.
Anyway, you know Sky Sanctuary above Angel Island? I think that's a cool
Yeah, I saw that. I was just about to comment on that, actually. Because you can only see it when you're on the main menu. Once you, like, actually go into the game, it's too high up to see.
That's really a shame they ruined the music for this one stage.
Yeah, I can't hear the music, so I'm saved.
Oh, well that's great. I'll load it from my phone for you.
No! No, you won't!
Yes, I will!
No, you poopy fairy. You fairy taking a poop. Why do they put water in, like, every single level in this game? Probably my biggest complaint about Sonic 3.
It was always on the bottom paths.
Like, so why is there always water?
Well, if you're not a chump, you don't go there.
Like, I don't mind water levels in Sonic, but why does water have to be in every level?
Okay, so this is the Origins version of that doesn't mean it.
Please, why are you doing this to me?
This is the Origins version. Act 2.
I don't want to hear it. I'm like, it's good I can't hear it. Miss. If I got all the achievements, what else is there to accomplish? Nothing.
And then if we and then if we go to the beta one, which is the one everybody wanted them to use, it's this.
This must be an auditory experience for our viewers right now.
Of all the tracks, this is one of the ones that got least ruined, if you ask me. Like, those are kind of pretty similar.
I see.
It's not as bad as Act 1, which just got completely destroyed.
Uh-oh.
I think the reason I ended up having to use bad versions, right, is it's gonna be some kind of situation where it's like, it's gonna be like a lawyer situation, right? So Sega will have looked for their own archives, right? And they'll have found the beta that has all the poop versions of the songs, right?
Uh-huh.
And there is a later beta, which people on the internet have, right?
Uh-huh.
But because that's not part of Sega's archives, it's gonna be some weird situation where it's like, well, what if somebody hoaxed it somehow? What if it's actually a fake beta and there's somebody who worked on it uncredited and some kind of weird thing, and we have to have maximal control of everything we do for liability reasons.
Yeah.
Reasons why a world ran by people in suits is a hellhole. Pepsi time, baby.
I guess I'm never allowed to wear a suit. Oh, Sasha, can you help me for a sec? I forgot to get myself a drink. Could you grab one for me? Thank you.
Aww.
Sasha helps me.
I don't know why, but the second you say Sasha helps
Thank you.
me, I instantly imagine that entire SpongeBob episode in my head.
What entire SpongeBob episode?
You're the one where SpongeBob, like SpongeBob takes Squidward in, and then quote unquote helps him a lot. It slowly gets more and more reasonable, and becomes Squidward's like maid, basically.
Yeah, but I clean up the house a lot.
Name one.
Sasha doesn't do everything here. The bathroom, the kitchen.
How do you clean up?
I take all the garbage and stuff out of it and scrub it.
Okay, that's understandable.
Oh, we have to go in the water. Why is there even water in this level? It doesn't make any sense.
I always love that
here?
episode of SpongeBob, because it's the one where he, like, in the end, he's like trying to get Mr. Krabs to take Squidward back so that he doesn't have to have Squidward living in his goddamn house anymore.
Knuckles just
Mr.
flooded
Krabs
it with that button. No, but there was water in this level before. I don't think Knuckles added the water. Like, I think the water was there.
Yeah, Knuckles just turned the lights off.
Okay. I knew I wasn't losing my mind.
What was I saying, though?
This is where- Knuckles- oh, I see. You're saying that he flooded it like, off-screen.
It's, like, interesting, because, like, are we supposed to- are we supposed to assume that Eggman has been here for, like, what, a couple weeks or months? And has built the entire carnival? That has, like, a fucking city in the background?
Well, maybe the city
like,
was there first. Nah.
Well, no, because like the story is always like hyping up how much solitude Knuckles is in on Angel Island, right? You know, he has this like a lonely duty, and he lives this like lonely existence. His island can't have like an entire like the economy needed to support this carnival. It has to be an Eggman thing. The economy.
What? What is Cinema Roll? Oh yeah, I could have told you that.
The economy.
I thought it was like a Cocker Spaniel or something like that with the floppy ears. Yeah.
What did you think was like a Cocker Spaniel?
Cinema Roll.
Oh, that creature.
With the floppy ears. It turns out I was right, basically. He is supposed to be a puppy.
Yeah, it has puppy energy.
Doesn't have a very bunny face. in my opinion. I see. I've been very pleasantly surprised. Lots of rabbits live around here. We've got desert cottontails. We saw a baby bunny yesterday. The little guy.
Eggman has a carnival making machine.
We also found a big snake the other day. We've only found like 3 snakes out here. Which is less than I usually find in Oregon. But they were different kinds. They were like, well, there was one that was really small, and it was like dark gray and red. And then we've been seeing big, I believe they're called bull snakes.
For a second, I thought you were just gonna say you've seen big.
No. Other than that, there's just several different species of lizard that we see all the time. And that's really nice. There's like a whole bunch of different types of lizards out there. And they're always just scurrying around. I like them a lot. I don't know. I don't know what any of the species are around here. I should look that up. Do you know your local snakes? Yeah, there are no dangerous snakes that live here other than rattlesnakes. And rattlesnakes are very easy to identify. So if it's anything other than a rattlesnake, it's not dangerous. In fact, the bull snakes are beneficial because they eat pests. That's the kind of snake you want to find in your yard, actually. What? How did that kill me? The crush tests in this game are insane. This game doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about.
Okay, so number 1, crush deaths, like, in the remakes are always just slightly more common than they were in the originals, right? Number 2, apparently because Amy's hitbox is the smallest, she can, like, wriggle her way into places that other characters wouldn't, including places that are actively about to kill her.
Absolutely incredible. Why does she have the smallest hitbox? Shouldn't that be Tails? Because Tails is a little guy.
I don't know.
You know?
It's weird. Like with her sprites in this collection, she seems to be smaller than Tails. Like, look at her.
Well, Tails is shorter. Look.
I mean, short, yeah, but he's also like
Tails.
chunkier. Okay, I guess she's taller. Well, anyway, she's the only character I know of that's had the hitbox issues. Maybe it's not that she's the smallest. Maybe she's like in a weird middle ground or something.
I see.
I'm just going off what I've seen. Hey, do Americans have a thing where they prefer, like, is it common to refer to a person who's untrustworthy as a snake?
I wouldn't say it's common, but I've heard of that.
Because I think that's pretty common over here.
That's a biblical reference.
Oh yeah, it is. I was here wondering, like, under what circumstances do snakes betray people? Two-faced fucking snake. You blagging fucking snake.
It's because of the Bible.
It's because of the Bible. I was watching a video by Trey the Explainer earlier, and it was talking about, like, the oldest jokes, right? And number 1,
isn't Trey the Explainer usually... Isn't it usually, like, paleontology stuff?
Well, no, there's a lot more archaeology in there.
I see. And also cryptid stuff?
Like... Yeah, that as well. But, so this video talked about a lot of things, including, an example of a... He's standing right behind me. Joke that was, like, found in, like, an ancient Greek play. Or, like, something that fits that basic template, right? The joke's actually a bit more interesting and a bit more complicated than that, but it's like one of the first examples of, like, a that thing's behind me, isn't it? Joke. It also went on to talk about, like, just a load of random old jokes, some of which...
How can you tell in old text, like, what was supposed to be funny or not, you know?
Yeah, that came up at one point. How
can you tell it's supposed to be a joke?
Like, there was one part where like, it was going over, like, Babylonian stuff that was apparently, like, not jokes per se, but they were, like, humorous, like, proverbs.
Hmm.
And one was, like, for the first time, one of them was just something like, for the first time in history, a young lady sat on her husband's lap and did not fart. Or something like that. That was one of them, apparently.
Was that a common thing back then?
I guess. Apparently there's one really old joke, and nobody can tell what it means, because the context is just gone. It's something akin to, a dog walks into a bar, and it can't see anything. So it says, should I open this?
Yeah, I've heard of this one before.
Yeah. You know what the funniest thing is? There's an ancient tablet, right, that appears to have the setup for a yo mama joke on it, right?
Oh my god.
But the punchline has just been chipped off, so we will never know.
We'll never know what the world's oldest yo mama joke is.
Yeah, the punchline was something along the lines of, like, I think it was like a series. It was in like a series of like humorous, like, your question and answer style jokes or riddles or whatever, and it was just, who sleeps with your mother? The answer's gone. We will never know.
I like the idea that farts have, like, always amused humans. Like, we've just always been amused by farting.
Yeah.
This isn't humor related, other than it's funny to us now. But I always think about, Nasir.
What? Nasir?
Yeah, Nasir, you know, who had all of the hate mail.
Oh, yes! You know, the funniest thing was...
And those are the oldest, like, oldest existing, like, written, like, human language. It's like hate mail to Nasir.
The top comment on that video was, the real oldest joke is Nasir's fucking copper.
I know, I just... And also, like, it seemed to have been in his house, and, like, all, like he, like, kept it all, like, he was proud of it, almost.
I wonder if this is, like, the oldest version of, like, Karen appreciation. What if Nasir's copper was good, actually? These were all just Karen. I am, like, kind of worried about the word Karen.
Oh.
Because it feels like it could very easily just get watered down to nothing, you know?
You're just being sexist?
Like, kinda, yeah, basically.
I've seen already people be like, don't say that, it's a sexist slur or something. Oops.
Well, I think the thing is,
like, it's all just about hating women.
I think that, like, the fundamental thing is, like, Karening always has to be done, like, so in its original context,
it has,
there was,
like,
I think...
like, bigotry is, like, an important aspect of it, you know?
Yeah, bigotry or, like, abusing of certain social statuses or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, a Karen has to be, like, privileged somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, the original context is, like, quite often, like a white privilege.
Like, soccer mom.
Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of examples where you could just call them an asshole, and it would be just as good, yeah.
Doesn't necessarily need the gendered language.
Also, it's, like, interesting because, like, a lot of the Karen stuff at this point is fake, you know.
Yeah.
Cause it's a thing that like gets a lot of attention online.
It's like a fake Tumblr story.
Yeah.
Opa homeless style.
It's funny how much of like stuff online just is different versions of, and then they all clapped at this point. Because like a lot of Karen stuff is just, you know, it's faked versions of that. A lot of Ask Reddit stuff, when you really get down to it.
Oh wait, I realize what I'm doing wrong. I remember now. You gotta stay on this thing.
That's about time. I was wondering. I'd have to say something.
I never remember that.
But yeah, it's interesting how like so much stuff on like Ask Reddit and like
Hello
Karen stuff
there.
is like
Welcome to the stream.
It's like exercises in like morality and catharsis using imaginary people, you know. It's like somebody would like so okay. So I'm not saying all stories on like, you know, at Reddit, am I the asshole or whatever, are fake, right? But there are so many of them where it's just like, there are so many of them that are just some contrived bullshit, like some weird, like absolutely alien situation that nearly always involves like people being persecuted for things that don't really make sense, you know? I don't know, like there was one I heard yesterday that was like, oh, my ex turned up 5 years after I left her with a child and was like, you need to be in your son's life. So I got for you know, like a DNA test, and the kid wasn't mine. But my mum and sister said that was really mean of me to prove that the kid wasn't mine. And I have a lot of money, so I should have just given my ex the money, child support anyway. Am I the asshole? It's like if this was a real situation, why were you posting about it and am I the asshole? Like, where's the question? What's the fucking question? Obviously you're not the fucking asshole. It's like God handed you a fucking situation to make you look good. I don't know, it just seems silly.
So I was gonna say, I'm doing good today. We went to the store. And got food, and also we got new hinges for the door, because the hinges are really old and they just snapped in half. So we can fix that now, and that's good. It's for the bathroom door, which you kind of want to be able to close, obviously.
I hate to interrupt, but I just thought of another one, which is incredible, right?
Yeah.
So there's one today that was like, my grandparents left me $300,000 in an account and said that it was my job to evenly distribute it between me and any of my siblings, because it was like the kids that have like father's surname, mother's surname, right? Fairly as I see fit, and because of how it's worded legally, I get to decide what to do with it. It named both my mum and dad, but I have some half-brothers on my dad's side, and I felt like I was close enough to them, so I decided to give them $100K of it each. It was like some fucking shit, like, I give some to I give, when my half-brother Joe turns 21, I give him the 100K. I withdraw my 100K, but I have to borrow a bit from the account so that I can buy a house of my portion. And I plan to pay it back before my other half-brother Mac comes of age, so he can have all the money. You know, he can have his 100K. But then he finds out that I borrowed a bit from his bit with the plans to pay it back, and now he thinks I'm trying to screw him out of money. So then he drafted a legal thing, and he tried to sue me. But then it turns out, I found out I had an illegitimate half-brother who was different, who was really cool, and he had another grandparents' bank account full of even more money to share amongst my dad's illegitimate children. I became friends with him, and then it turns out my half-brothers, they could have got 100K each, but now I'm not giving them anything, because they're not entitled to any of my money because it was for the full siblings, and they're not entitled to any of my illegitimate father child money bank account either because they're not illegitimate children. It's like this weird thing, right? And throughout the entire thing, all I could just think is that they've called their two half siblings Joe and Mac, which is the name of the two main characters of a dinosaur platformer for the Super Nintendo. And I'm like, is that...
Don't they have that on the
fake?
Switch now?
Yeah. I'm like, is this fake? Did they just look at Joe and Mac and they're like, oh great, there's some names I can use? What kind of scenario is this? What kind of grandparents leave $300,000 to, like, children, and then, like, another $300,000 to illegitimate children? What is this?
No, it was even more money to the illegitimate children.
Oh, yeah. God, it's so fucking stupid. The entire thing is so fucking stupid. I don't know, some of it's gotta be real. Like, there are bad people in the world. But then so much of it is just, like... just weird fucking nonsense.
Yeah, after the stream we're gonna fix the bathroom door. I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Like, I was looking at it, the metal is just, like, completely brittle. And it just snapped.
Oh dear.
Thankfully, we shouldn't need to drill any holes or anything, because we can reuse the ones that already exist.
Did it just snap off during, like, normal use?
Yeah, it just ended up, like, the other night, it just snapped off. I think one of them snapped, like, a week or two ago, and I didn't notice until recently. Maybe it was only a few days ago. And then, like, yesterday, the second hinge snapped, and now it's only on one hinge. And I'm sure that's too much of a load for the one hinge, so it's probably gonna snap too. It's like weird, because the hinges we just got are like they're like fully solid, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're looking at the stream, the hinge is like this shape, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. See like this hand here? So like this shape on the new hinges is all filled in, right? There's no space there. But the ones that are already there are just like this. Like, that's it. It's just this thin strip of metal like, in that shape. And so the really thin parts, like where my fingers are touching my other finger, that just snapped right off. So the new hinges look much more sturdy, so hopefully they last us a good while. It says they're rated for up to 10 years. So hopefully it lasts that long before they need to be replaced. I don't know how old these hinges are. They look like ancient, based on the condition they're in. You ever think about how some people claim that door hinge rhymes with orange?
I mean,
look, it's the sus.png. Remember that?
Sus. Yeah, I can remember the sus.
I like that they just actually called it that in the files.
Yeah, pretty incredible. God, I'm sleepy.
Sleepy?
I'm still a pompous.
How come they have snails that look like the sus.png? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because like the same person probably came up with both designs
and put them right next to each other.
Well, I mean, they're only similar in so much as they're both red and have a implied plastic shape. Texture. They're not.
Keep thinking the snails are sus.png until I realize it's a snail.
I think that's just because you are magnetized towards memes.
Magnetized towards your... what?
Oh.
Yeah. You heard me.
Well, everybody, and that's the wiki.
Ouch. We found a we found a game on Roblox yesterday called Don't Sniff It. It was a picture of a big foot with eyes.
Great. Can I mention something I don't like about YouTube Shorts?
I think the foot has eyes too.
People keep uploading People keep uploading clips of The Simpsons, right?
Uh-huh.
Like new Simpsons. That's the first problem, right?
Uh-huh.
But then they keep adding that really obnoxious, like, super played out stock YouTube music to it.
Oh.
You know, the one that's like doo 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 doo. Yeah, one. The really awkward one. You don't know what I'm talking about at all.
In the Mr. Incredible Becoming Uncanny music?
Yeah, that's it, Mr. Incredible Becoming Uncanny music, that's it. They keep adding it to, like, Simpsons clips, and, like, it somehow makes it even worse.
Oh, no.
God, it's, like, so... Also, like, just the stuff in the clips is so weird. Like, I saw one where, like, it's, like, Ned Flanders, like, leans out his window, and he has no mustache, and he's like, "Howdy, neighbor, do you know where my mustache went?" or whatever. And then Homer turns around, and he has Flanders' mustache glued to his chin.
What?
And he's like, yes, let me think. Stroking the goatee I've always had. He strokes it for like 10 seconds. And then Flanders is like, "Gosh darn it, that's it. Kids, we're Jewish now."
Huh?
I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's like, is it the love thy neighbor things in the New Testament, so Jewish people don't have to observe that? Is that the joke? I don't fucking know.
That's a great question, Bis. I have no answer for you.
It's also just, like, upsetting, like, I don't know, like, the entire Simpsons voice cast is just kind of, like, they're, like, slowly deteriorating. Like, I mentioned on stream recently, Marge sounds like a Marge impression now.
Uh-huh. Like some weird Simpsons ARG.
Yeah.
Sasha told me that apparently the Among Us cartoon is going to be like an adult cartoon.
Oh my god. Oh no. No! 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 It's gonna be awful.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a kid's cartoon.
Oh my god, like... Oh my god, it's gonna be Rick and Morty humor. It's gonna be Rick and Morty humor. Oh my god. Oh, there's gonna be
Ruby
a
says
bit
these
where...
are Simpsons episodes we weren't meant to see.
Oh, there's gonna be... Oh my god, could you... Oh my god, that'd be such a cool SCP. Simpsons episodes we weren't meant to see.
I think it's just that's just a creepypasta.
Well, no, there's a difference. There's a difference, right? Because if it's a creepypasta, then it's just like, ooh, and then I watched the episode, and Homer peed hyper-realistic blood!
I thought you were just gonna say it was hyper-realistic pee.
No,
that would be funny.
But if it's an SCP, it's gonna be like
a cognitive hazard.
It's gonna be a long clinical document, and it's gonna be like more surrealist, you know? It's gonna be like, it's gonna be less like Homer does the most cliche horror things possible.
You watch this episode and you get dorselessness.
No, don't say that. I'm in the house alone. Leave me alone. Don't say that.
Oh.
But it's gonna be more like The Simpsons. It's gonna be more clever. It's gonna be like Simpsons episodes that don't make sense in our timeline. You know, something like that. Like it's gonna rely on like cultural baggage from like alt history or like some kind of logic which is lost on us. You know. And that's the idea.
I'm reminded of the complaints about the Mandela catalog I was having on stream the other day. Where it's like I wanted it, I expected it to turn into something like that, and then it just wasn't. Yeah. It was like a religious thing instead. Like,
oh, yeah,
that's interesting.
The Mandela catalog it's a shame because like I'm gonna be honest, the faces are pretty scary. I find them scary.
But it's supposed to be like, oh no, Satan went back in time and corrupted Jesus.
It's like
and he didn't save us from our sins and etc.
I don't really understand how that interlocks with the current stuff, though.
I don't know. Also, I wanted to mention my favorite creepypasta ever.
Yeah.
Not because it was good, but just because I always remember it. It was the lost episode of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, okay.
So they were like switching around the channels late at night and accidentally like ran into a channel that's not supposed to exist or something. They were playing America's Funniest Home Videos, but then it was just like a bunch of snuff films. And like the host had like a really somber tone instead of like it being funny like it's supposed to be. That's so funny to me.
You know what I liked?
Uh-huh.
I liked the TikTok trend of just, it was like a piece of audio from the Mandela catalog, right? But it was like one of the best like isolated clips. It was just like, you know, cheery, upbeat PSA music. If you see someone that looks identical to you, run and hide.
Yeah,
so just, like,
Sasha showed me some of those clips.
And like, it was like interesting, like, obviously some people did it better than others, right? But I think that's like one that's like, its creepiness is like a little bit subtle. It's got like enough subtlety. But there was somebody who kept like making like Dragon Ball versions of those, where it was like all the alt versions of characters. Like every time a character is different in two different canons, they'd have like the non-canon version be the monster that's sneaking up on the real one or whatever. And I thought, I'll just like, yeah. It's kind of interesting to imagine the idea of like a horror thing in Dragon Ball, because like Dragon Ball is like a.
You said like Dragon Ball sort of like removes like the stuff that makes horror work.
It removes like it's very hard to do a lot of genres, right? Because like I think the best example is like you can't do a Prison Break story of Dragon Ball.
Too easy for them.
Yeah, and it's like the
prison
thing is,
could contain Goku.
Yeah, and then it's like it's not even just a thing of like guards, you know, because like the thing is just material doesn't matter, you know. In fact, there is no like the strongest thing in the Dragon Ball universe is a person who's hit a punching bag 2,000 times. Diamond has nothing on that. You know, so it's just like it's just this thing where it's like I think one of the weirdest like concessions about the entire like premise of Dragon Ball, right, is that when Dragon Ball characters fight, any one of them could just aim their punch 90 degrees down and destroy the planet they're fighting on, and they simply choose not to at any point. And they never fuck up and accidentally do that.
Only
Isn't
the
that
villains
interesting?
end up doing that.
Or threatening to do it. Or like it's just weird, right? But what was I saying? Yeah, but like with horror, it's like I don't even know. Like you'd have to have like I mean, like they kind of do something almost with that. Like some of the Boo and Cell stuff is like horror from the point of view of the normal characters, right?
I see.
Like,
I think that's why when this came up before, we were talking about this while we were at that part of the story.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like when it comes to the actual cast, it's kind of hard to like. I don't know, because like you can't really run away from. It's like you can't even run away from a monster, you know? Because it's like. I don't know, it's like, imagine you're like at an abandoned quarry and there's a monster and you're running away from it, right? There's like a sense of like isolation, you know? Like what's happening there at the quarry is like distant from everything else.
Goku can, has instant transmission.
Yeah, and even if you're one of the characters that doesn't have instant transmission, you're running away like a fucking plane, you know? You're not in a quarry, ducking behind things. You are like on the edge of the atmosphere going Mach 20. And the thing behind you is also going Mach 20 and there's no obstacles in front of you. It's not like you can cleverly, like, you know... It's not like it's faster than you, but you can be, like, clever and, you know, whatever, right? Because literally both of you can just... You could fly in a straight line and just go through a mountain. There's no strategy. And then... Yeah, it's just
If
weird.
you had a character that was, like, horrific in some way, they're only going to be able to be, like... Like, they're not gonna be able to do anything that, like, a normal Dragon Ball villain can't do, you know?
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to... Yeah, they're not gonna be able to do anything that will scare the characters, you know? So it's just gonna come down to punching anyway, you know?
Yeah.
They're just gonna fight each other. And at the point where you're having a normal fight, it's not horror anymore, I think. When there's no power dynamic. Then they're just fighting. Wait, Amy's hammer thing really does make things easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's pretty great. I still kind of wish they'd given her like a. I guess she is.
I guess she is kind of a different character than from the others.
I think my issue with her is she's different in a way that only really shows itself during boss fights. I think what they should have done was made it so that her jump is not a spin jump, right? And then just made it so instead of like having a hammer spin attack, it's like you press the button again and she can swing in like 8 directions and has like much more reach.
Uh-oh, he took Amy away. Also, nobody has commented on the thing on the screen this time.
What thing on the Eggman?
Yeah.
I commented on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody on the stream has. Nobody in the chat has. Other. And plus, that was before the stream.
I love how the Sonic series has a tradition of just like, when there's a hole they don't want you to fall in, they just put like a gust of wind under it. I love how there's like entire sections of SA2 where there's just like, just a pathway of random wind that you're supposed to travel across.
Uh-oh, we're falling!
Terrifying tortellini! We're falling!
And then Amy just does this cute little pose. Amy's so adorable. You're watching in 360p? Ah. Yeah, it's already kind of hard to make out. So, if you're watching this in a low resolution...
Oh, they fixed the layering issue on the animation. Nice.
Wow. What was the layering issue?
Well, you know how like Eggman's sprite
I love what a gentle, like, how gently it touched down there. Like there was no cloud of dust or anything. It just was just.
Well, its engines were probably still going. You know, it was probably still trying to keep itself up and then failed.
I see.
Do you ever think about how this is Chief Pachacamac's fault?
Huh?
Do you ever think about how this is Chief Pachacamac's fault?
What?
Yo, Chief Pachacamac.
No.
The most pivotal character in the Sonic canon, Chief Pachacamac.
Oh, right, from Sonic Adventure?
Yeah. The only reason, like, Angel Island exists, it feels implied at least, is to keep the Master Emerald off of the rest of the world, right? Because it contains one really fucking pissed off blob of water.
Wait, why did I do that?
God, that was a terrible decision.
I don't remember what the yellow ones do.
Boing! I'm glad they fixed Tails not jumping in these.
Oh?
Yeah, on release that was one of the bugs, was Tails would never jump in these, but like he never interacted with any of the spheres either, so it wasn't a problem.
I see. Just looked weird.
Yeah, it just looked terrible. Like you'd go on the spring things and Tails would just be dragged along the ground with you.
Funny.
Funny.
What if I was funny?
I think the noise cancelling or whatever you have on Discord, like, removed all the bass from that, so you just sounded literally like a newborn kitten.
I don't think
Why
there was
did you
any
jump
bass
over
in
the
that.
spring?
I wasn't trying to, Bis. You gotta under- Don't laugh at me, you little bitch.
You're my favorite little bimbo hump.
No, you gotta stop calling everything a hump, Bis. Not
Why?
everything can be a hump, Bis.
It is if I cover it in bread and serve it on Sunday.
Some of us are non-hump.
Otherwise known as a nump.
Alright, Bis, listen here, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'll have you know I served for 29 years in the Navy SEALs.
Good. You deserve everything that's coming to you then.
Oh.
I love one of the best things about Tumblr is just the constant disrespect for the armed forces. I think it's so great. Like I love this one thing where somebody was like, I think somebody was like, I can't remember the context, but somebody said something along the lines of like, do you think there's any veteran clowns or something like that? And then somebody says something else, and somebody's like, no, you don't get it. I'm asking, can a clown die for their country? And somebody replies, I think everybody who's died for their country was a clown.
Oh my god.
There was also the one person who, like, I think they just, like, did one post that had, like, a load of replies and everything, and it was, like, a big hoopla or whatever. But their entire thing was just them being, like, shout out to all the boys out there fighting for their freedom while I fuck their wife.
Oh.
Oh god. I don't know. I'm just thinking of that stuff. Oh
Look
my
at
god,
the post
Elena.
I just sent you, Bissy. Why is he throwing mushrooms at me?
Let me have a look.
What an ineffectual attack. You should read this out
Okay.
for the stream.
Okay. This is by Ember at www.librepunk.club. Cishet neurotypicals will be tied up in the basement. See someone else who isn't tied up? Diagnose them with not tied up in the basement disorder. Then take a minute to be grateful when they don't have not tied up. 1 second. Let me read this again. Cishet neurotypicals will be tied up in the basement. See someone else who isn't tied up? Diagnose them with not tied up in the basement disorder. Then take a minute to be grateful that they don't have not tied up in the basement disorder. I don't...
What do you think of this?
I feel like I kind of get that point, but also I'm like slightly tired of my reading comprehension shit.
They find somebody tied up in the basement, or they're tied up in the basement, they find somebody who isn't. They think they have not tied up in the basement disorder. And then they're grateful that they don't have that.
Oh.
Yeah, they're grateful for being tied up in the basement.
Huh.
There's a lot of replies to this. Maybe I should look at those, see what anybody's saying about this. Oh yeah, so oh yeah, the real world example is that one study where they found that autistic people have a heightened, like they stick to their morals.
Oh, it's that. Okay,
more
yeah.
than neurotypical people do on average.
Yeah.
And then made it out like that was like a bad thing.
Oh, you see,
like they stick too strongly to their morals.
You see, because it impairs their ability to get ahead. Don't you know?
That's what people are bringing up in response to that.
Genuinely unsure whether I should be saying there or our here. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Bess, you wanna know something that was great that we saw in Splatoon 3 yesterday? You know how you can give yourself titles by using like an adjective and a noun that you get? We saw one where it was just mind-blowing head.
That's very good.
Which is incredible. I love the way that he has to pump that. Make the air go.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Ruby was playing with Splatoon with me yesterday. She was there for a mind-blowing head.
I think I'm like kind of done with Splatoon at this point.
That's what I was like, Biss probably doesn't want to play with us because they don't seem that interested in Splatoon.
Like, Splatfest's format-wise suck, right?
Oh.
Because you can only play with people if you go on the same team. So, like,
it's hard to coordinate now because there's 3 teams.
Yeah, that's another thing.
We were all on Team Strawberry.
It was always kind of stupid that the Splatfest were regional as well. That's always been done. But other than that, it's like every the single players, like 1 and 2 basically had nearly identical single players, right? I feel like the Octo expansion is just what the story mode of 1 of 2 should have been, you know? Almost like.
Well, the story mode of 3 was formatted similarly to the Octo expansion.
Yeah, I think I just
overworld.
I think I just lost steam by that point. Like, I tried to get into it and I just couldn't.
I see.
I don't know.
I had fun doing a minimal fuzz removal run. When I played the story mode. I tried to get by with removing as little of the fuzz as I could possibly get away with. That's so funny.
Going to the barber and saying, "Can I have a minimal fuzz removal, please?" I'll be a minute.
Okay. How the fuck does this thing work? How does you pull it down like that? The equivalent of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, pulling yourself down by the Sonic 3 Mushroom Hill Zone doohickey. I could imagine if you swung out and the thing was tensioned so that when you swing out it wants to like spring up. I can see how that could work, but that's not the movement that it's doing. Like if it was under tension, it could spring itself up if you swung out and then like ratchet up, but she just pulls down on it and somehow goes up.
I think you're supposed to assume that there's like an up first, you know?
She's pulling her. I said it's like pulling herself up by her bootstraps, but instead it's pulling herself down by the Mushroom Hill Zone doohickey.
Look,
I always love this
Eggman.
weird blue smooth thing that he's in. Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. I always love the pseudo 3D effect.
Oh yeah, this is a good look. I mean, you love making effects like this.
Yeah. Or I did once upon a time back when I was a game dev.
Shut up.
You shut up. You shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Did you know that did you know that the word boot for turning on a for starting up a computer comes from the term pulling yourself up by your bootstraps?
No, but suddenly that makes sense, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. The program that runs to start up a computer is called a bootstrapper.
Well, yeah, because a bootstrapper... Isn't a bootstrapper something that takes, like, some kind of high-level stuff and then converts it to low-level or something?
No, it's just a program that loads, and then or the easiest way to describe it is the first program that runs, and it manages to run all of the other necessary programs. Like it manages to start everything up by itself, basically. And apparently they're really weird, like almost paradoxical in how they work. I remember reading about them before and getting really, like, almost disturbed with the way that they work.
Disturbed?
Yeah. Because it really felt like a real-life, like, paradox. Did they work somehow? They're kind of spooky. It's also just, like, self-compiling programs. Or something, there was something like that. There was something to do with compilers. It was weird. It's been a long time since I read about that stuff, so I can't really say anything about it, because I don't remember. I remember it being really difficult to understand and kind of spooky. Computers are weird. Hi, Shan, that's quite the greeting. Yo, Shan! Yo! What is up?
What's up? Oh shit, yeah, I saw that there was like a voice chat going on in that server. What game are you playing again?
Oh, I thought you meant like a political campaign. Like I thought you just got elected.
Mayor Shan.
Yeah, what was the campaign for, Shan? What did you get elected for? Amy can't use the bouncy bubbles because when you press A again, she just does her hammer thing and she doesn't do the bubble thing.
Oh yeah, only Sonic can use the elemental abilities of the shield.
Well, that's fucked.
Well, no, because it's to compensate for the fact that you only have the insta-shield with Sonic normally.
I see.
It's like Sonic loses versatility but makes up for it in variety.
I see. There
That's
were robots
cool,
in there.
Shen. Congratulations. Is Arkham Horror a Batman thing, or is Arkham just a general word? And I'm not aware
Pretty
of
sure
this.
it's a Batman thing. I've never heard the word Arkham outside of Batman.
Imagine if they made a Batman reimagining, where Batman is just obsessed with Superman's butt cheeks. And in that continuity, he's known as the Clark Ham Knight.
What? What? Oh yeah, Shan, you should be proud of me. I'm going to fix a door today. I'm gonna put new hinges on the door. Seems like something you'd think is cool. Yeah, see? Yeah, you're fixing.
Oh, yeah,
our bathroom door broke off our hinges. Or broke off its hinges, rather.
Oh no!
I've been telling everybody about that today. That's the hot topic on today's stream. Oh, nice, Shan. I'm just gonna use a screwdriver and screw in some new hinges. And unscrew out the old ones, obviously.
Imagine if you screwed in some ninjas, as they're known in the industry.
Okay, thank you, Biss. Hey, Shan, are you gonna stick around for Dr. Fizzwizzle's Animal Rescue?
I'm not. I'm gonna watch Breaking Bad instead. I'm gonna ditch Fizzwizzle to go Breaking Bad. I can't believe that, like, one of my favorite fucking characters in Breaking Bad is Hank.
Hank Hill?
So I am at the part... I'm at the part where they've just introduced the big lab, you know? The one that's in the washing machine industrial place. Oh shit. That's promising.
We have to just sit here and wait for the bombs to break the thing. There's a lot of like esoteric things required for progression in this game.
Oh.
Like the barrel you have to move up and down, you gotta sit there and wait for the thing to blow up the things. And you might not think to wait there, because you might just think it's a dead end. There's that thing in the ice area where you have to just stand on the thing instead of jumping off of it.
This is back when games had a bit of magic and wonder.
And also they didn't care if you got stuck forever.
I used to like Jesse. I think I've gone off him now. I can't just say my main thing with Breaking Bad that I keep coming back to is that, like, stuff I had seen from the fan base had me genuinely convinced it was going to be like a show that was on Walt's side. Like, I was like, oh, well, you know, he needs the money to pay for his cancer treatment, so he's going to be like an underdog, right? No, Walt's a fucking idiot. Walt's just the biggest dumbass in the entire show. Complete buffoon. Oh god, socially inept, unlikable, fucking nasty, fucking... I mean, at the end of the day, like...
Is it like a Rick and Morty situation where people have accidentally identified with the person that's supposed to be an asshole?
Okay, I'm gonna say yes, but I can understand people being confused with Rick more than Walt.
Oh no.
Walt, the entire, like, genuinely, if you look at the plot of Breaking Bad from what I've seen so far, right, he literally has the option at several moments to fix all of his own and his family's problems immediately. Yeah, people... It's fucking stupid that people idolize him. There's several situations where he literally could have fixed the entire like all the conflicts of the series, right? But he doesn't because he feels a little bit tugged. Because in the first episode he got milked, and he's still angry about that.
What? Why did nobody ever talk about the milking scene?
It was just something that stood out to me. I remember turning to Callie at the time and just being like, she's milking him. She's milking the bad bastard. But yeah, so much, basically so much, like, the inciting incident of the series, right, is basically just, the guy's kid is more excited by, like, by Walt's brother-in-law than him, and then he gets a bad hand job, and then it's everybody else's problem.
I see.
But yeah. It's so funny because I saw some people posting clips, right? Like to Twitter, right? Like saying, "Oh yeah, Breaking Bad's like the last show that remembers what it means to be a real man." And now I have the context.
Oh,
I can
no.
say definitively, they were posting clips of Walt being played like a fucking idiot. Like, they play clips of Walt actively being used like a stupid little fucking brainlet pawn.
Oh
And they're
my god.
It's amazing because it's like, not only is the characters in this series able to like play Walt like a fiddle, but they play the fucking audience. Incredible, just absolute fucking useless fan base of buffoons. Yeah. I'm glad, because everybody who I know, at least, who I've talked to about the series agrees with me, right? They seem to all get it. And that's the thing I like about the show, mostly, is that to me, it's a comedy. Breaking Bad is consistent. Pretty much, yeah. It's really funny, because, like... It's really funny that, like, the guy who plays Walter White, right? He was, like, in Malcolm in the Middle, right? And in that, he played, like, a...
Full Middle Malcolmist?
One second, it's my phone alarm. I'll spook the hell out of me.
That's such a cutesy ringtone, Bis.
It's
such
not
a
alarm,
magical
not a
little...
ringtone.
You are just a magical little fairy.
I'm gonna bat you in a minute, so shut up. Shut up.
That's the cutest little noise your phone could have made. Bis is so whimsical. They're just a funny little fairy.
Anyway, what was I saying? So I was saying, it's funny because he played the dad, Hal, in Malcolm in the Middle, right? And in that, he plays, like, the father to, like, a lower middle class family who are struggling to make ends meet. And he gets really stressed and engages in comedies of errors, right? And then, he basically does the same, in Breaking Bad, he's sort of like the opposite character, but doing the same things. He is also the dad of a lower middle class family struggling to make ends meet, doing a load of things and having a comedy of errors and trying to pull everything together. The only difference, basically, is that the Malcolm in the Middle dad is a good person who's attractive to his wife. And then Walter White is a dumbass loser who ruins everything and gets milked.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shan says they hear one of the reasons people probably idolize Walt is because the actor's just good and charismatic, which is true.
I see.
It's funny because I was watching Babylon 5 of Arrow a bit ago, right? And there is just an episode where in the opening credits it's like guest starring Bryan Cranston or whatever his name is, right? And then just in the middle of the episode, it's like the main character basically is like, oh, well, we might be able to win this war, but we'll need to send basically one ship on a suicide mission. So then he calls up some random ship in the fleet, and the captain is just played by Bryan Cranston. And he's like, you're gonna have to go basically die. And Bryan Cranston's like, okay. And that's his guest appearance. He's just a guy who dies immediately.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll stop talking about it, Shan. But Shan, you need to watch fucking Babylon 5, it's so fucking good! I fucking, okay. So I'm not like a big old American sci-fi fan, right? But like Babylon 5 genuinely is fantastic. Like it just has a lot I love, honestly. I think it feels a lot more thoughtful than a lot of the sci-fi I've seen.
I should probably get done with the stream here soon so I have time for Dr. Fizz Whistle.
Wow, you're really gonna burn time with me so you can fizz some whizzle?
Well, we can have time later when we work on gray area and stuff. Is there anything I'm supposed to- is this just a survive thing? I can't reach that.
Eggman has an IQ of 300.
Okay, I did manage to reach it, but I couldn't damage it. Yeah, he just did it to himself again.
I think in an interview, Jim Carrey, who obviously played Eggman,
I want to go to the
like
Doyless stage.
Well, you have to download the beta then. But Jim Carrey, when he was being interviewed about his choice to play Eggman in like the live-action Sonic movies, right? He said that like one of his like thoughts when playing Eggman was to try and do him a bit like a tech bro, you know?
Yeah, I get
that
same. I get that vibe.
And it's like it feels so perfect because like old Eggman is more of like industrialist / mad scientist. And Tech Bro is like a more modern thing. But it really just has that thing where it's like he's good at like he's exceptionally good at a handful of things, right? But as a person, he's a fucking numbnuts.
Eggman?
Yeah, basically. Like he can make a death laser. He can make a flying fortress. He can't see the problem with putting one inside the other, you know? He's kind of just too busy huffing his own fucking farts to think through the implications of any of his own plans. Very well.
Oh boy, this Eggman decided to put nuts on this one.
Yeah. This
one needed balls.
It kind of just is the Chode-mobile.
No.
Oh my god, you know what, right?
Well, and the things that he's using to grip this platform look like hairy ones.
You know that video about like ancient jokes? As an example of a joke that's like a pun, so it doesn't translate, they brought this one joke, and like obviously originally it's like wordplay because it like rhymed or whatever, but in English it just sounds stupid. It was, a man opens a well while two watch on. Flaccid penis.
Okay.
Could you imagine having that on a shirt? That'd be great. I hate desert levels. They always have
I love
music.
them. They have my favorite music.
She's a girl, I'm an enigma.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me, Shan.
I don't know, it's just like, I feel like desert music, right? Ominous suffering tunes?
Ouch.
No, that's awful. It just feels like all desert music is like... there's always like some sort of abrasiveness to it, you know? They always try to capture the heat and the sandiness, you know, the abrasive elements.
Yeah, I like
I just don't like those things. Those are bad. I think they like emotionally affect me too much.
One of my favorite...
And I end up on edge.
One of my favorite desert songs is from New Super Mario Bros. I love the New Super Mario Bros. Desert music, particularly.
Can you sing it for me?
No?
Is it the one that's? Is the one that's like?
No, it's absolutely nothing like that. No, from the first new Super Mario Bros.
Oh, let me go look. Let me go and have a fucking little look.
I also like the desert music in Paper Mario Sticker Star. I like all the music in that game because it's really jazzy.
Oh, it's this one. Bam, 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 bam.
I also really like the desert world, like overworld music.
Yeah, I agree. Boss music is always the best. Boss music is... Well, at the end of the day, it's music just about conflict. And I feel like conflict is just very potent.
Potent.
You know, Sonic Omens, right? Like, people who have watched what little of my playthrough has already been done will know I don't really like that game. But the final boss theme, Weight of the World, is so fucking good. Oh yeah,
This streams on rare occasion.
Yeah, I tweet about it and sometimes Tumblr about it. I very, very, very rarely stream.
I was on stream with Bis last time they streamed.
If you wanna be there when I stream, just subscribe to the channel that just posted in chat. Not subscribe, I mean follow. I always go for the
subscribers yet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. They make you work for it.
God, my leg is a little bit itchy, right? But like, the itch is beneath like leggings and 2 pairs of socks.
My god.
And I'm not going to be able to get to it. I just have to suffer. No, it's not going to be a mosquito thing. I don't think at least.
That's one nice thing about living in the desert, is that there's a limited amount of bugs. There's no mosquitoes.
Elena, how long are we likely to be going for?
I'm just gonna finish this level. And you gotta watch me play Dr. Fizzwizzle, because I've been waiting for... Everybody's gotta come watch. At least for a little bit.
Okay, let me account that into my estimates of how long I'll take. So would maybe 20 minutes?
Levels in this game are so long. Oh,
so
I think I'm at the boss.
Okay, so you're just gonna beat this boss, and then I have to watch 5 minutes of Dr. Fuckass's poop adventure.
Yo, Dr. Fizzwizzle. Don't I just have to goad this boss to fall into the thing? I don't have to do anything. Because I don't remember this. Okay, thank you, Shan. Thank you so much, Shan.
God, do you ever wonder what... Never mind, I can't finish the sentence.
What?
I feel like that was a bit too much.
What?
You really want me to tell you?
Well, yeah, you're making me curious now.
I was about to say, do you ever wonder what fizzy cum tastes like?
Oh, okay, thank you. Alright. Not as bad as I was expecting, but... You raised my expectations so high, and then all you said was fizzy cum. You know, somebody must have done that. You know, because you can get those machines that add fizz to things. Yeah, see, Shan just did the soda stream.
I'm so sad that fizzy milk is bad.
Yeah, because you can't add acid to milk.
Although, but maybe
you get sour milk.
Maybe you could put different kind of bubble in there. Maybe you could put nitrogen bubble in there. Maybe you could put nitrogen bubble in there.
Alright, the big golem is dead now.
God, that's such a weird boss.
It really is.
Is it even an Eggman robot, or is it just like an unrelated stone golem creature. Is it related to the giant stone golem that guards the pyramid in SA2? Put oxygen bubble. That
Right,
sounds
title scheme.
dangerous. Oxygen is very reactive. I don't think that's a good idea to be drinking something with like oxygen bubbles in it.
You can make something just like massively flammable if you pour liquid oxygen on it. Apparently you should never handle liquid oxygen somewhere that's carpeted. Because it'll soak into the carpet and now you have the world's most flammable carpet, basically.
Ah! Chad, why did you have to destroy me like that?
No, I just...
Wouldn't the oxygen
Bring me to the main menu,
eventually
Putty.
like evaporate away though? Well, it's been
no, not because it's liquid oxygen, and now it is because carpet is really porous. Now it's just basically just been infused with oxygen. Like it's just in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds quite bad. I guess I'm gonna cancel my weekend plans.
Oh, you were planning to spill liquid oxygen on your carpet?
Well, I was actually planning on dunking you in liquid oxygen.
Why did you want to freeze me?
But I wasn't planning on freezing you. I was planning on dunking you in liquid oxygen. Then you can huff the carpet? No! No huffing! Huffing is banned. I watched an entire video about this. Huffing is bad, actually.
I just saw somebody say, I just saw the worst take I've seen in a long fucking time, LMAO. I want to know what she saw. I hope she elaborates.
Just reply and say, spill the TG.
I don't think I want to say that. Oh my god, Beth.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Okay, I will look at what you sent me.
Look at the caption.
Oh, this is great. Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna send this in the group chat with Arrow.
You should probably share that on stream.
It says pics that make you go, and then it's the it's the JoJo thing.
Text.
I don't know what that. I don't read Japanese.
It's go.
I see. Yeah, basically pictures with JoJo energy. Alright, let's set up the Wii.